Good? All right. I'm Meteorologist Chris Ramirez with the KHOU 11 weather team. We are still seeing widespread rain across the Houston area. Here's a look right now from the KHOU 11 studios. Still seeing that rainfall, and we're actually seeing ponding on roadways as this rain has been falling for the past at least hour or so. Right now, looking at the Gulf Freeway, you really can't see the downtown skyline off into the distance. Still, even though we were on the streaming about an hour ago, we're still dealing with this heavy rain that's going to be lasting at least for the next hour or two. Right now, temperatures are a bit on the cooler side, mid-60s, Sugar Land 65, Tomball 61, but we're still tracking this low pressure system that is tracking towards the south central U.S. and it's what's causing this heavy rainfall. So most of the heavier rain activity has been happening to the south of the Houston area, from Alvin, League City, even Galveston, dealing with this heavy rain. And that's when we're going to start seeing that flooding threat start increasing as we head into the next 30 minutes to an hour. We're dealing with just a little bit of a break for our northeastern areas, but we've still been seeing this heavy rain falling around downtown Houston, at least for the last 30 minutes to an hour. So once we get closer to dealing with this rainfall, that's when we're going to start seeing this flood threat becoming more of a concern as we get closer towards the noon hour and the lunchtime hours. So if you have any outdoor plans or lunch plans elsewhere, you might want to just keep it into the office, because we're definitely expecting hazardous roadways as we go into the next few 2 to 3 hours. Looking at the rainfall amounts for the last 12 hours, most of that heavier rain happening to the south of the Houston area, got up to 3.1 inches of rain, even 4.4 inches of rain just to the east or to the west of Needville. And so as we look at that rainfall, we are expecting this to continue at least for the next 2 hours through the noon hour. We're going to have a little bit of a break in this rain activity later this afternoon. That doesn't mean we still can't see some isolated stray storms pack a bit of a punch as we head closer towards 4 or 5, but rain's going to become a bit more isolated in nature. But we're not going to be out of the woods yet going into later this evening, because another round of showers and storms is expected to move through as we get closer towards the 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. hour, and this storm is going to be fairly strong. You're able to see that bow echo. That usually indicates that we could see some damaging winds from this storm as it makes its way across the Houston area. And this is going to be from downtown Houston to all areas northward going into the overnight hours. And then by 1:30, conditions are going to be clear out. The weather is going to be clearing up and quieting down, be more quieter for the next few hours for tomorrow morning. The Storm Prediction Center is still keeping us under a slight risk for severe weather. That does include most of southeast Texas. That is a level 2 out of 5. And so we're going to still continue to watch these storms as we head into the next few hours. Also, severe thunderstorm watch in effect for our southeastern areas. And just keep in mind that we still could see some storms have a large hail and damaging wind threat going into later this afternoon. But we are expecting these storms to continue across the area as we head into the next few hours. I'm going to go ahead and start it over in case you are just now joining us. We're still tracking this heavy rainfall that is occurring across southeast Texas. That heavy rain still causing a little bit of concerns for our roadways across the Houston area. So definitely keep that in mind if you do have plans to leave your home or your office. But we are still seeing a lot of lightning. This rain that has been occurring just to the south of the Houston area has been falling for quite some time. So for folks that are in Alvin, League City, even Bonnie along 288, this rain has not really let up for the past hour or so. And so that's when we're going to start seeing that flooding threat start increasing as we head into the next few hours. And we very well could see this line of heavy rain start tracking northward towards our more populated areas. And that's when we're going to start dealing with problems on those roadways. Right now, no storm is severe warned. We do have some lightning, and wind is really not a threat, but we are going to start seeing that flooding threat become a little bit of a concern as we head into the next few hours. Still seeing those showers tracking along the I-69 corridor, even El Campo dealing with some lightning right now. But other than that, we are still really not out of the woods yet, at least for the next 2 to 3 hours. So this is our first of 2 waves of storms that are going to be falling across southeast Texas. This is going to be lasting at least through 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We're going to have a bit of a break for much of the afternoon, but then our main concern is what's going to be happening during the hours of 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. We are expecting a line of strong storms to make its way through the Houston area, and these line of storms could definitely have some damaging winds and large hail with it going into the early morning hours. So definitely, if you are, before you go to bed tonight, make sure those outdoor items are secure, as we are expecting some high winds as we go into the early morning hours for tomorrow. So you can always stay up to date on KHOU.com, as well as downloading the latest weather updates on